Welcome to Pastor Andrew's Inspirations. If you haven't already done so, please click the subscribe button on the lower right corner of your screen to enjoy more videos and messages from me. Today we will be talking about the biblical city of Byblos. Byblos is the largest city in the Mount Lebanon Governorate of Lebanon. It is believed to have been first occupied between 8,800 and 7,000 BC and continuously inhabited since 5,000 BC, making it one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Byblos appears as Kebni in Egyptian hieroglyphic records going back to the 4th dynasty pharaoh Sneferu, 2600 BC, and as Gubla in the Akkadian cuneiform Amarna letters to the 18th dynasty pharaohs Amenhotep the 3rd and the 4th. In the 1st millennium BC, its name appeared in Phoenician and Punic inscriptions as Gebal, in the Hebrew Bible as Gaval, and in Syriac as GBL. The name seems to derive from GB, well, and I, God. The latter, a word that could variously refer to any of the Canaanite gods or to their leader in particular. The name thus seems to have meant the well of the god or source of the god. Its present Arabic name, Jebel or Jebel, is a direct descendant of these earlier names, although apparently modified by misunderstanding of the name as the triliteral root GBL or JBL, meaning mountain. When the Arabic form of the name is used, it is typically rendered Jebel, Jabal, or Jabal in English. All of these, along with Byblos, are etymologically related. During the Crusades, this name appeared in European records as Giblet or Giblet. This name was used for Byblos castle and its associated lordship. The Phoenician city, known to the Greeks as Byblos and to the Romans as Byblos, was important for their import of papyrus from Egypt. The English word Bible, ultimately deriving from the Greek words Byblos and Biblion, may have originated with the Greeks' mispronunciation of the city or its Egyptian export. Byblos is located about 26 miles north of Beirut. It is attractive to archaeologists because of the successive layers of debris resulting from centuries of human habitation. The site first appears to have been settled during the pre-pottery Neolithic B period, approximately 8,800 to 7,000 BC. Neolithic remains of some buildings can be observed at the site. Byblos had the reputation of being the oldest city in the world, founded by Cronus. Byblos moved from being a fisherman's village to its earlier urban form at the beginning of the 3rd millennium BC. The growing city was evidently a wealthy one and seems to have been an ally of Egypt for many centuries. Objects have been found at Byblos naming the 13th dynasty Egyptian king Nefertep I, and the rulers of Byblos maintained close relationships with the New Kingdom pharaohs of ancient Egypt. It appears Egyptian contact peaked during the 19th dynasty, only to decline during the 20th and the 21st dynasties. Byblos was the fourth of four Phoenician vassal kingdoms established by the Persians, the first three being Sidon, Tyre, and Arwad. In the 3rd century, a small but impressive theater was constructed. With the rise of Christianity, a bishopric was established in Byblos, and the town grew rapidly. Although a Sasanian colony is known to have been established in the region following the early Muslim conquests of 636, there is little archaeological evidence for it. Trade with Europe effectively dried up, and it was not until the coming of the First Crusade in 1098 that prosperity returned to Byblos, known then as Giblet or Giblet. The Crusades-era church of St. John Mark in Byblos. In the 12th and 13th century, Byblos became part of the county of Tripoli, a Crusader state connected to, but largely independent from, the Crusader kingdom of Jerusalem. As Giblet, it came under the rule of the Genoese Imbriaco family, who created for themselves the lordship of Giblet. Their residence, the Crusader castle of Giblet, along with the fortified town, served as an important military base for the Crusaders. The remains of the castle are among the most impressive architectural structures now visible in the town center. In 1300, its fortifications were subsequently restored. From 1516 until 1918, the town and the whole region became part of the Ottoman Empire. In 2006, Lebanon war negatively affected the ancient city by covering its harbor and town walls with an oil slick that was the result of an oil spill from a nearby power plant. This, however, has been cleared, and the coastal area has since then become a destination for beachgoers, especially in the late spring and throughout the summer season. Byblos inhabitants are predominantly Christians, mostly Maronites, with minorities of Armenian Apostolic, Greek Orthodox, and Greek Catholics. There is also a minority of Shia Muslims. It is said that the city of the daughter of Byblos in southern Lebanon was founded by those Shia Muslims. Byblos is home to the professional schools of the Lebanese American University, LAU, the LAU Byblos campus houses, the medical school, the engineering school, the School of Architecture and Design, the pharmacy school, which offers the only PharmD program outside the United States, accredited by the Accreditation Council for Pharmacy Education, the School of Business, and the School of Arts and Sciences. The campus is situated on a hill overlooking the city and the Mediterranean Sea. The King's Spring. Byblos is re-emerging as an upscale touristic hub. With its ancient port, Phoenician, Roman, and Crusader ruins, sandy beaches, and the picturesque mountains that surround it make it an ideal tourist destination. The city is known for its fish restaurants, open-air bars, and outdoor cafes. Yachts cruise into its harbor today, as much as they did in the 1960s and 1970s, when Marlon Brando and Frank Sinatra were regular visitors to the city. Byblos was crowned as the Arab tour capital for the year 2016 by the Lebanese Minister of Tourism in the Grand Serail in Beirut. Byblos was chosen by Condé Nast Traveler as the second best city in the Middle East for 2012, beating Tel Aviv and Dubai, and by the World Tourism Organization as the best Arab tourist city for 2013. The Byblos archaeological site, Ain al-Malik, or King's Spring, is a large cavity accessible by spiral stairs. Once it supplied the city with water. According to Plutarch's version of the Egyptian Osiris myth, the king's servants met Isis on the stairs of the spring and took her to the royal palace, where she found the body of her husband Osiris embedded in one of the palace pillars. The L-shaped temple was erected about 2700 BC. The Temple of the Obelisks, originally built in 1600 to 1200 BC on top of the L-shaped temple, was moved by archaeologists to its present location. The many small obelisks found in this temple were used as religious offerings. The sanctuary contained a large number of human figurines made of bronze covered with gold leaf, which are now displayed in the National Museum of Beirut. The necropolis dates back to the 2nd millennium BC and contains tombs of the Byblos kings, including King Ahiram. The Roman theater was built around AD 218. The Byblos Wax Museum displays wax statues of characters whose dates of origin range from Phoenician times to current days. The Byblos Fossil Museum has a collection of fossilized fish, sharks, eel, flying fish, and other marine life, some of which are millions of years old. The old medieval part of Byblos is surrounded by walls running about 270 meters from east to west and 200 meters from north to south. Byblos Castle was built by the Crusaders in the 12th century. It is located in the archaeological site near the port. St. John the Baptist Church was built during the Crusades in 1116 AD. It was considered a cathedral and was partially destroyed during an earthquake in 1176 AD. When Islamic forces captured the city, it was transformed into a set of stables. It was later given to the Maronites as a gift by Prince Yosef Shahab of Lebanon in the mid-1700s, after they aided him in capturing the city. Sultan Abdul Majid Mosque by the castle dates back to Mamluk times in mid-1600 and adopted the name of Sultan Abdul Majid after he renovated it. In the southeast section of the historic city near the entrance of the archaeological site is an old market where tourists can shop for souvenirs and antiques or simply stroll along the old cobblestone streets and enjoy architecture. Byblos International Festival is a summer festival of music and an annual event that takes place in the historic quarter. Byblos is twinned with Patras, Tripoli, and Sparta in Greece, Orange in France, Tripoli in Lebanon, Valletta in Malta, Cadiz in Spain, and Izmar in Turkey. This is the biblical city of Byblos. Adonai Nisi, the Lord is our banner. God's blessings be upon you.